like the current universities are a breeding ground for future leaders. We've set the scene for you how 80s, 90s were almost a given that if you were a student leader in uni, you would almost naturally transition into national politics or at least regional politics. That has winnowed down over the years, and you guys have shared your feedback. You don't feel like that's the case anymore. The words, actually, it's a bit harsh. Some of them, even reading, you're like, wait, what is going on? But of course, thank you so much for sharing your views. And it is almost unanimous that you feel like as they stand, they're not a breeding ground for future national leaders, or at least good ones. I'm not sure what's happened to erode our confidence over the years. Maybe it's the fact that people who've transitioned from student leadership into national leadership have not lived up to the expectations of the people. I think that's largely the case. But of course, if you feel any different, continue to use the hashtag morning fix. We'll try and squeeze in a few more sessions to get a little bit more of your feedback. But Brian, what do you think?
I think that it's been affected by some of the bills that were introduced in this country, and it affected how the movement of the students within the school, and of course their kind of influence they had nationally, and some of the unions that we had, like SONU, yani just making sure that we get active politicians. We saw young student leaders become politicians simply because the majority of the students would vote for a person of their choice, which was an imitation of the national politics. Right now, it's more of kwa wale mmechagua, tutawachukua, then we are going to choose one leader for you.
Right, a delegate system,
the delegate system actually pretty much broke the backbone of student activism, which was actually celebrated in the country.
True, it feels like almost like you're in the US. You could win the popular vote, but somehow you're still not president, right?
Exactly, because you're not loved by the administration. So they're like, maybe they shouldn't have you as a leader.
I mean, very much the case. But thank you so much for sharing. I'm still stuck on the person who said that the universities are a breeding ground for skeptics, atheists and nihilists, and that's on spiritual perspective. He said there's too many isms in our world right now: liberalism, progressivism, humanism, and globalism. And I'm like, are those bad things? That's Still Learning who said that. And he said all these isms mold the worst leaders. To be honest, I think if our leaders were more liberal, more progressive, more humanist, more globalist, I don't think they would be bad leaders.
But yeah, it's true. And just to add on what I had said earlier on, maybe someone is making that observation, Mariam, simply because they can see it in our leaders who claim we love God, but there is no portrayal of that. We love the people, but there is no portrayal of that. So they feel like it's these universities that actually kill spirituality. I don't know what your take on that. But of course, we also, have you ever heard of this situation whereby in some schools, if you want to be the student leader or student president, lazima ukuwe umemaliza school fees? So imagine you're such a top-notch leader amongst the students, but there's one thing, when I say lazima kumemaliza school fees,
we're mirroring national politics again. If you don't have money, you can't
and then get also far. Pia kama ati grading system kama hauko fiti pia kwa exams. I feel like that's a good threshold, but sometimes some good leaders, illustrious leaders, are not those that actually went to you.